Hello, 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 and welcome to another information session with CeeRod Travels. I am your host, Rod the Educator, and I'm here to take you to school. And the topic today is 20 items that you should not have when you go to the airport. So, let me set the stage. Here's a scenario. You are getting ready to fly on a flight because you need to go to Miami or Fort Lauderdale to the port so that you can board your cruise ship. That's the scenario. If you are on, I want you to drop a hello or a good afternoon in the chat, and I will see those chats and I will compliment and comment you after. But it's good to see you all. 20 items to not take with you when you go on the plane. And once again, I'm Rod the Educator, and I'm here to school you. So, I am the CEO of CeeRod Travels, along with my wife Cecilia. She's the C, I'm the Rod. She goes before everything that I do. So there you have CeeRod. We specialize in cruises, but we also book and plan trips and do other things. And we look forward to serving you and booking your trips. Now, 20 items you shouldn't take with you to the airport. Item number 1, aerosol cans or liquids. So this is deodorant, the spray cans. Anything with aerosol you cannot have with you. If you have anything that has aerosol with you, they will take it out of your bag and they will throw it in the trash can. That's all they'll do with it. Quick little story. We didn't have any aerosol cans, but we did have some water in our bottles that we had to pour out, and you have to pour it out right then and there, even before you get to the TSA checkpoint. So you got to make sure that you have all that stuff taken care of before you get on that plane. So, item number 2, ammunition. All my gun carrying citizens, you can't have ammunition in your suitcase. If you have ammunition in your suitcase, they will throw it away, and you probably are not going to be able to go on your flight. So, if you are a gun-carrying citizen, you cannot have any firearms in your checked baggage. You can't even have any firearms on you. And if you have to have it on you, there has to be a special provision in order for that to happen, right? So, no firearms and no ammunition on that plane, or you will be missing your flight. Also, sporting goods such as rackets, golf clubs, you can't have those things in your suitcase. If you have them in your suitcase, they will take them out and throw them away. So if you paid hundreds of dollars for those golf clubs, do not take them and put them in your suitcase. If they check that bag and it's there, you'll probably get them FedEx back to your house. But you cannot have them with you when you go on the plane. Also, explosives. This is common sense, but you know we got some crazy people in this world. So, explosives. You cannot have explosives in your suitcase. If you have explosives in your suitcase, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be charged with a charge. You're not going to be able to take your flight, and you can't get your money back. So, leave those explosives at home, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Flammable items. So, we think, well, aerosol items, aerosol cans, those are flammable. Hairspray is flammable. How do I know this? Because when I was a kid, me and my friends, we used to take balloons, put hydrogen in them, and then we used to make hydrogen balloons, and we made a hairspray rocket out of PVC pipe. And we put the tennis ball in the PVC pipe, and we put the hairspray, and we lit the hairspray, and the fire and the ball went. So we know that hairspray is flammable. It's very flammable. So you cannot have it in your suitcase. If you have it in your suitcase, when it goes to the sensor, they have to take it out. And what they do when they take it out, they'll throw it away. So don't bring any flammable items in your suitcase. Also, sharp objects. Don't bring any sharp objects in your suitcase. If you have sharp objects in your suitcase, they will take those sharp objects out of your suitcase and throw them away. So do not have any sharp objects in your suitcase. Now, one other thing to not have in your suitcase: aerosol insecticides, like spray cans with the mosquito killer. You can't have that in your suitcase. Anything aerosol, don't put it in your suitcase. The best thing to do if you need aerosol, anything, deodorant, hairspray, you're probably going to have to buy it when you get where you're going, so that way you can have it with you. Or if you sneaky good and can put it in your suitcase without them seeing it, then go for it. Now, I will say that back in 2007, when I went to the Dominican Republic, I went for 2 weeks. When I came back, I was able to smuggle a piece of sugarcane in my suitcase. So when I brought that sugarcane home, my grandma was like, "What you doing with sugarcane in your suitcase?" And I'm like, "How you know that was sugarcane?" "Yeah, we had to cut that when we was younger." I was like, "What?" So I was able to smuggle some sugarcane in my suitcase. But that Dominican Republic orange juice, I could not smuggle in my suitcase. But you have never had any juice until you've had that Dominican Republic juice. I'm telling you, that orange juice is to die for. All right? So something else you should not have in your suitcase: you shouldn't have alcoholic beverages in your suitcase. So those of you who like to try to smuggle alcohol in your water bottles, it doesn't work. They'll look at the seals to see if they've been broken. And if the seals have been broken, they know that you're trying to bring in a 16-pack of vodka and water bottles. And you can't get away with that. So, best thing to do if you want alcoholic beverages, they have them on the plane. They charge an arm and a leg in first class, but they have them on the plane. Or when you get where you're going, and when you're on a cruise ship, you can go to your port of call and get some alcohol and bring it back, right? So, lighters. Can't have lighters in your suitcase. If they see lighters in your suitcase, they'll take it. So, no need to put lighters in your suitcase. Number 10, self-defense items. So, items such as brass knuckles, pocket knives, mace. You can't have those things in your suitcase. Those things are considered weapons. And so it's important to not have those in your suitcase. Yes, you might need them, because there are some crazy people at the airport, but you can't have them in your suitcase. Number 11, alcohol over 140 proof. Now, that's the alcohol when you take one sip, you're done. I mean, you could, and be done, right? You can't have any alcohol over 140 proof in your luggage. Number 13, batteries. They don't allow you to have batteries in your checked bag. So make sure if you're going to buy some batteries, you can't have them. So when you get to your destination, or when you get to your port of call and you have to have batteries, buy some batteries. Number 14, marijuana. Of course, you can have weed on the plane, right? Now, they had it on Soul Plane, but unfortunately, that was just a movie. Now, in these planes, you can't have weed. So, if you're a weed smoker out there, if you're a 420er, you can't 420 on the plane, and you can't have 420 in your suitcase. Especially if you're on a cruise ship, you can't smoke weed on the cruise ship. And, I don't know, people will snitch. So, make sure you don't do anything to get yourself in trouble. Number 16. Oh, and my wife just mentioned that Carnival does have dogs that smell out for weed, so there's no need to try to smoke weed on the cruise ship. It won't do you any good. Number 17, medical supplies. Now, I'm going to have to say something about this, because we had luggages and suitcases full of medical supplies for Betty the cycler. So my wife is on dialysis. She does dialysis every day, 5 days out of the week here at home. And we have to have the liquids and the fluids. Now, the nice thing is we had most of the liquids and fluids shipped to the room on the ship. So that was what saved us from having to bring a lot of boxes, because we were able to get those things ordered. So Medical supplies. You have to make sure that if you have to have fluid or liquid medical supplies, they're going to check those bags, and you can't have those. So make sure that your medical supplies are taken care of. And if you have any questions about medical supplies, make sure you contact the airline and the airport to check and see if your medical supplies are decent enough. And if they're not, then you got to do something about that, because they won't take medical supplies in your checked luggage. Almost done here. Medication. You got to be careful with medication, because they don't check medication necessarily, but you just have to be careful with it. If it's like cream that you have to apply, they'll probably take that out of your suitcase. If it's pills, things that you take, then they probably won't take that out of your suitcase. But you have to be careful if you have creams and rubs and things that you put on for medication. And finally, number 20, vape pens. If you're a vapor out there, you can't have those vape pens in your check bags, because they are going to check, and they will take your vape pens. I saw a lot of vape pens when I went to the airport for our trip, and they take those vape pens out and they just throw them away, and you can't get them back. So you spent $30, $40 on a vape pen, you won't be able to get it back. So just don't have it in your luggage. When you get to where you're going, if you feel the urge to vape, then go buy a vape pen from a different place, because you're not going to be able to buy a vape pen or to have a vape pen in your check bags. So, excuse me for one moment. So, I just gave you a list of 20 items that you should not have in your suitcase if you're trying to go to the airport. So, in your checked luggage, thank you, honey. Need some water. So in your checked luggage, make sure you don't have those 20 things in there, because if you do, they're going to take your stuff and throw it away. And you spent your hard-earned money on those things. If you're watching this right now, I want you to type in hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, I want you to type hashtag replay. So once again, I'm Rod the Educator, and I have given you 20 things that you should not have in your checked bags at the airport. Because if you do, then they'll take your stuff and throw it away. And more than likely, you won't get your stuff back. So make sure that when you travel, I say travel light, So I'm going to get on this thing about traveling light right quick. Because somebody I know and love very dearly, when we first got married, had a big suitcase, big purple suitcase, and had a whole lot of stuff in there. Luckily, nothing was taken out. But we went on a 7-day cruise, and you would think, oh, she's sitting here watching me too, y'all. But you would think that, and she giving me the look, right? She like that's the look she giving me right now. She telling me not to talk. But I'm gonna talk anyway. So we're going on a 7-day trip, right? But you would think that we was going on a 14-day trip. She packed so much stuff, y'all. Oh my goodness. But hey, she was one, I think she was a Girl Scout, so it's just like, always be prepared, right? Just in case something happens, you're right, always be prepared. But yesterday in my video, I talked about several mistakes that people make when they travel. And so the mistake that people make when they travel is they pack too much stuff and they're not able to pay for the fees, right? So we were able to pay for the fees, thankfully, but I'm just saying. But make sure when you pack, make sure you pack light. Hey, Eb, how you doing? Nikki, it's so good to see you on here. Chris Bass, thank you for coming on. Sharice, thank you. Sharice, thank you for coming on. Mo Shimley, thank you for coming on. I appreciate y'all. So once again, what I talked about in this video was 20 items. I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
Hopefully I won't be doghouse, what I'm saying.
Anyway.
So we talked about 20 things that you should not have with you in your checked luggage. So if you're looking to go on vacation soon, looking for a cruise, looking for a resort, looking for whatever the case is, don't forget to contact CeeRod Travels. So CeeRod Travels is the name of our travel company. So she's the C, I'm the Rod, we're CeeRod. We CeeRod everything, right? As it's supposed to be. The CeeRod Empire. That's what it's all about. So reach out to us. Our Facebook group is called Follow Your Dreams and Travel. We tell our Facebook group to follow your dreams and travel here at CeeRod Travels. And also, if you are a person that is interested in travel, something that you love to do, and you see yourself bringing an extra bag, making extra streams of income, reach out to me and we'll definitely have a conversation. But again, this is Rod Laws. I'm Rod the Educator, and I'm here to educate you about everything travel. And I did just that. Follow your dreams and travel. Hey, Chris Bass, those tickets right now, I'm going to tell you right now, the tickets are very expensive, right? Plane tickets. Plane tickets they change like you change your drawers every day. That's how many times the prices change. But the train tickets are always good. Train tickets is really good to travel by train. Now, I went on a 20-hour long ride on a train. I can't do it. Hey, Nikki, you work for TSA, don't you? I know, because I know you say no liquids, no gels, no creams, no aerosol, and your carry-on if your carry-on is over 3.4 ounces, then it's not a carry-on. It's a bag, and you got to check it, right? And I think my friend Nikki works for TSA, so I know she know what I'm talking about. And she has to say the same thing every day. So people do not listen. I'm telling you. Moshimili, you have a good one too. Thank you so much. But Chris, right now, the best thing to do is all-inclusive resorts. That means everything's included. And if you want to go to an all-inclusive resort that's outside of the United States, you got to make sure you get that plane ticket too, like all together at the same time. So we have access to a whole lot of vendors to where if you want to take an all-inclusive trip, the flights are going to be more than likely included. So right now is the time to do that. As summer's coming up, the prices are going to be a little more expensive simply because it's the summer. But the best time to travel to the Caribbean, like in my opinion, the best time to travel to the Caribbean is winter. And I say that because it's cold here, but down there, it can be, I'm going to give you a quick example and then I'm going to be done, right? So December of 2022, my family went on a cruise. And we lived in Asheville at the time. So in Asheville, when we came back home, y'all, it was 8 degrees. 8 degrees, right? But we were in the Caribbean the whole time. I'm talking 80, 85, 90, right? That's the kind of environment that I like. So, and we came back. So we came back, and I didn't even pack to come back, right? So yesterday I talked about packing essentials, right? That's a mistake that people make. I'm telling you, I made the mistake because when I came back to Asheville, it was 7 degrees, and I had on thin clothes when we came back home. Big mistake, Jack. Hey, CeeRod, Allison, it's so good to see you on here, repping that royal blue and pure white. Love you so much. Thank you for being here. All right. We call that Dove Love. But I just said all that to say, these 20 items, I'm just going to reiterate the same thing that my friend Nikki said, longtime friend. No gels, no creams, no aerosols. Make sure your suitcase is 3.4 ounces. If it's more than 3.4 ounces, it becomes a check bag. So hopefully you'll take this advice to heart. All right. And I'll be doing some kind of education every day for travel because now is the time to travel. And I'm going to reiterate once again that if you're looking for a way to get an extra bag, travel is it. Travels are over an $8 trillion industry. So if something you're interested in, send me an inbox and let me know and we can talk about it. All right? And then if you're looking for a trip as well, we'll be happy to book your trips for you too. Once again, this is Rod the Educator telling all you out there to follow your dreams and travel. I'm the CEO of CeeRod Travels along with my wife Cecilia. She's the C, I'm the Rod. Her name is before mine because she goes before everything that I do. There you have CeeRod. Those of y'all who tuned in today, thank you so much for tuning in. I love you all. Peace.